What's up, YouTube? Jeff, aka PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver our Week 1 matchup in PTG Season 5. This is the randomized draft season on National Dex, and Week 1 we are taking on the Boston Zubats, who are part of the Pokemon Killer Squad. PKS, it's a group of dudes that I've met through the Pokemon community here. You might remember Lior from last season. Well, you didn't see last season. Who am I kidding? There's also like Lior. He was a former champion here. He was the PKS Noobs King. And I believe there's another PKS member who made finals last season as well. So PKS has a strong presence around here, but and they're all really talented players. But we're going to have to beat one of them up Week 1 here. So, start the season off, we are taking on the Boston Zubats, coached by, cannot remember, Nick. And their team you can see on screen. Their team consists of Mega Houndoom, Spectrier, Grimmsnarl, Rotom-Wash, Slowking, Galar, Decidueye, Alolan Marowak, Hatterene, Primeape, Simisear, and Sigilyph. Now, if they are notated in green, that means that they were traded to somebody, as you would also know from our team update video that we just put up. We are the ones receiving that Mega Houndoom. Also traded away the Decidueye and the Simisear. He also recently respawned. He had Heliolisk and Executor, and he respawned, and I believe that got him... I don't know which ones that got him. I know Primeape was one of the new ones. I know Heliolisk was a B tier, I believe, and I got him either Alolan Marowak or Hatterene. I don't remember which one. But yeah, it's a... Yeah, so as I said in the team update video, we get our respins immediately, which we will actually be bringing 2 of those to Week 1 here. But we do not get our trades immediately. So, one of the mons, as you can clearly see on the screen, that we are trading away is going to be with us this week. And that is going to be Shrimpy, the Mega Gyarados. Have it built in regular form so I can make sure to pick the appropriate ability that I want. Reason I want Intimidate is because this kind of gives me free reign to bring this in against a lot of mons to set up on. A lot more options to set up on with it having Intimidate. I can bring it in on a Alolan Marowak as long as it doesn't have it Will-O-Wisp. Actually, it's a lot worse, to be honest. If I'm being honest, it's actually a lot less options. Also, kind of, well, depending if they're a physical version of Decidueye as well, that could help me out a little bit. I could also weaken Grimmsnarl, which would also be a good thing for us because once we Mega Evolve, he cannot prankster us with like Thunder Wave or anything. So that's really good. And we do have to Mega right away when we first attack, so that's the thing. But we can also kind of like, realistically, we can Mega and set up in front of things like Spectrier as well, because obviously Spectrier's move pool can't really touch Dark types. You'd have to like either Mud Shot or Hyper Beam us, which isn't particularly safe. We can kind of do the same thing in front of Mega Houndoom. We can do it in front of Simisear. We could probably do it in front of Sigilyph, depending on what set it is. We'll have to kind of scout for that. Like, there's a lot of mons we can set up on with this. Like, this, he's already said it in chat a couple times, and I completely agree with him. The matchup in this one is utterly atrocious for him. And as of now, he has really nothing to deal with. Like, dealing with Dark types is really near impossible for his team. Like, he got the Primeape in the respins, but it's not the fastest thing in the whole world. And it's also pretty frail, so any Dark type that's a little bit faster than it is going to give it problems all the time. So that's a problem for him, of course. And then he's got Houndoom and Grimmsnarl, which Grimmsnarl is his best bet, but like, yeah, there's plenty of other ways to deal with Grimmsnarl. And then Mega Houndoom, not the bulkiest thing in the world, so you can get past that thing pretty easily, I think. So for the most part, it's a pretty solid matchup in my favor, but I'm not taking this game lightly at all, of course, because I just can't. I refuse to do so. All of these guys here are incredibly talented, and I wouldn't put it past them to be able to get past a really tough matchup like this. Somehow. So, first mon, yeah, like you said, Shrimpy the Mega Gyarados. We were running enough speed to outpace the Decidueye. That's pretty much the only thing that we really need to outspeed on this team that we can. Rotom Wash isn't essential. We can't outspeed it, and I feel like it has to be more of a defensive build to kind of deal with us. I don't see him being like Scarf Rotom or anything in order to deal with. If anything, he's going to have Scarf Primeape to deal with us. And like Primeape and everything else kind of naturally outspeeds us. But once we get a Dragon Dance up, we'll outspeed anything there that's not Scarfed. I do believe this actually still outspeeds Spectrier. Max speed Spectrier, I believe it does. Yes, it does. Because max speed base 130 is 393, I think, if I remember correctly. So we should outspeed that once we get a Dragon Dance up, which is great. We are running Crunch, Earthquake, and Iron Head for our for our actual attacks. Crunch wrecks a lot of the team. Breaks through Slowking, Spectrier, Alolan Marowak, Sigilyph. Everything just gets kind of nuked by a Crunch, especially at +1. Simisear, also Alolan also Slowking, and Houndoom get messed up by Earthquake. Same thing with Rotom as well. Rotom does not take 2 Earthquakes because of Mold Breaker, which is great. And if we can actually get up to +2, that's even better. Because then we can start OHKOing things that we don't necessarily OHKO right away. And last but not least, there is the Grimmsnarl, which its best bet is to try to bulk up in our face. But once we get to +1, even if they get up to +1 defense, we still 2 KO them with Iron Head. Because Mega Gyarados is just so strong. Without attack investment, we 2 KO them with Iron Head. He has to be like a Screens bulk up variant in order to get past us. Which is good for us, to be honest. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, Iron Head's solely there for the Grimmsnarl and Hatterene. Hatterene probably also be taken out by Crunch, but I'd rather have the super effective coverage to be able to take it out instead of having to rely on potentially a roll, depending on how he is built. The rest, the rest of the EVs, I just went max HP because I wanted this thing to be able to come in with an Intimidate on something and just take no damage. Plus, with the natural bulk that comes from Mega Gyarados, with this much extra bulk, this thing's just, he's not breaking Mega Gyarados easily. He's not going to break through it very easily. Super effective hits even. From like not super offensive Rotom can't even do half to us. Like if it's a bulky Rotom, it can't do half to us. Alolan Marowak can't do half to us with like a majority of its move pool. Stuff like that. Like this thing's just really incredibly bulky, so having that extra bulk is going to be essential. Next we have Spiky Burb, the Zapdos with Rocky Helmet, Static, Discharge, Roost, Volt Switch, Ancient Power. This is our switch into Primeape. This is our initial switch into Primeape. One of them, because Primeape is the one thing that really threatens our Gyarados. And that is because a Choice Scarf Close Combat, even with the extra bulk investment, it still does a ridiculous amount of damage. I think we barely live it, and that was from full, so that's like, it's problematic. So we needed that to be taken care of. So that's why with the Rocky Helmet plus Static, we can pretty much regularly switch into Primeape. Scout what kind of set it is, first of all. I believe it has to be Choice Scarfed. I think if he brings Primeape, it absolutely has to be Choice Scarfed. There's no debate on this, because if he's not Choice Scarfed, he just auto-loses to Mega Gyarados. Auto-loses to it straight up. So, yeah, it has to be Scarfed. So kind of scout it, make sure, just to double check in case he's running some crazy stuff. We are EV'd with the 252 HP, 184 defense bold. That guarantees that bar crits Stone Edge from Primeape does not 2 KO us. which is very important. Plus, if he goes for Stone Edge, like we're not staying in. We have like we'll switch into something else to deal with Stone Edge, but yeah, basically between the Rocky Helmet getting chip damage on U-turns or close combats, and the potential for Static to get the para on it, which if we get the para on it, then Gyarados just auto wins, pretty much at whatever point I want to set up in. We're good to go. Excuse me. And then Discharge Volt Switch combination. Discharge is pretty spammable against his team. Getting the paras on stuff is going to be really nice. The only thing that he has to switch into that is a Alolan Marowak if it has Lightning Rod, which it could. It very well could. We do have 2 electric types on the team, so Lightning Rod wouldn't be bad. Potential ways of getting him in with minimal effort, I guess, is a way to look at it. So it could be that could happen. That could very well happen. But that's why we also have the Ancient Power, because if he does go hard into a Lolowak, we can tank a hit from a Lolowak for sure. And then we can smack him with an Ancient Power. We are always faster than a Lolowak anyway, so we can just hit him with an Ancient Power, potentially get a boost. That'd be even better, and then be able to abuse it that way. We have 20 speed on this because this allows us to outspeed a max speed Grimmsnarl. I don't believe that he'll be running max speed Grimmsnarl, but it's better to have it there just in case. Just in case. Never hurts, right? Never hurts to be too prepared. And then I just threw the rest into Spadef just to give us a little bit of extra bulk on that side. Nothing too crazy, but this is going to be a great way of helping us deal with that Primate. Next up, we have No Talk, Mihangi, the Morpeko. I'm going to move this over so you can kind of see the Y. So Morpeko is one of my favorite Gen 8 Mons to use in draft because the Mon is dumb. This Mon is stupid. You look at this beast and you don't think it's going to do a stupid amount of damage. But then something you had takes 70 to 80% from a neutral hit, and all of a sudden this Mon looks like a threat. So we're running Life Orb with Aura Wheel, Parting Shot, Rapid Spin, and Protect. Because that's all this Mon really needs. Aura Wheel is so strong against his team. Electric and Dark coverage kind of hit everything. And especially once we get to +1 speed, like, we're an incredibly massive threat. So, like, again, barring if he has, if he has Lightning Rod on a Lolowak, when we're firing off electric Aura Wheels, we can fire those off for free. They do big damage to everything on the team, period. And then when we morph to Dark typing, and if we're firing off Dark type, because if we can get a free switch into this thing somehow, and then it transforms to Dark type, then we definitely have a free one, because a Lolowak can't even come in on that. It'll just die, which is great. We have Protect, so that we can cycle through our forms whenever we need to. Like, say they do bring... Say we fire off a Dark one on something and kill something, and we morph back to our electric form, and a Lolowak comes in. We Protect on the first turn the Lolowak is out, then we have our Dark form again, and then we can fire that off, which is great. The +1 speed that it gives us each time is even more important, because once we get one off, we outspeed everything on the team bar Scarf Simisear and Scarf Sigilyph. And Scarf Spectre, of course. So, but that's incredibly important, because outspeeding Scarf Primate does not take Aura Wheel incredibly well at all. Not the electric type version, at least. And Spectre will never tank the dark type version. And yeah, that's really important. And Simisear is an Unmon. And Sigilyph dies to both, so it doesn't really... Sigilyph is never a switch into this, which is great. It's really, really good stuff. We have Rapid Spin because... Basically just because you can set up rocks with a Lolowak, and that's about it. I literally just put Rapid Spin on this 100% because I needed more moves. I needed a 4th move. And just in case there's hazards involved, I can get rid of them with Morpeko and get another speed boost. on top of it. Like, this thing's just meant to boost its speed and be faster than the whole team, which is great. Then we have, obviously, Protect, so we talked about that, so that's great. Yeah, max attack, 16 HP, simple, Morpeko. Next up, we have Dae, the Primarina, with the Assault Vest, Torrent ability. Moonblast, Energy Ball, Surf, and Flip Turn. Max HP, max special attack, modest nature, 4 in speed. The 4 in speed is to outspeed a min-speed Grimmsnarl. Didn't really feel the need to try to, like, really speed creep with this. Like, there was no point in... I wasn't going to be running a lot of speed with this. I need this thing to be bulky. We tank hits from a lot of things on the team without any real issue. Flip Turn is going to be really important because we can just kind of force things out that we can guaranteed force out, like the Alola Whack and stuff like that, and maybe the Primeape if it's locked into close combat. And kind of see what their initial switch-ins are, and we can react appropriately. Moonblast is incredibly free here. The only switch-in they have to Moonblast, like a really good switch-in to Moonblast on this thing, is Galar Slowking. Like, Galar Slowking has to come, I think, because this mon exists. Simple as that. He has no other switch-ins to this mon but Galar Slowking. Because Moonblast plus Energy Ball is going to mess up Rotom. Moonblast plus Surf messes up Alola Whack. This thing messes up a lot of members of his team. So it's going to be really, really fun to use. I think Primarina is going to put in a lot of work for sure. So I'm looking forward to it. Next up, we have Jack, the Gourgeist. We are running the normal form Gourgeist this week because I needed the speed. We have 144 speed Jolly Nature to outspeed the Decidueye. The reason I wanted to do this is because one thing that's very strong against him, one thing that's very good against like some of his key offensive mons, is the access to Shadow Sneak because of Spectrier and Decidueye. And I wanted to be able to Shadow Sneak before Decidueye can fire off its Shadow Sneak, basically. I'm going to be faster than it, so I could Poltergeist it, and if it all comes down to it, I can Shadow Sneak before he can Shadow Sneak me, which is very important. We have the Cassie Berry for a Ghost-type hit, so we can tank a Ghost-type hit from either the Spectrier or the Decidueye, which would be great. Max HP, and then we threw the rest into our attack investment so that we have a little bit more oomph on our Poltergeists, a little bit more oomph on our Shadow Sneaks. We have Will-O-Wisp because burning things is going to be very important. Obviously, Houndoom comes in this thing for free every time. That's pretty much just... there's not really anything I can do about that. I do believe we still tank a +2 Sludge Bomb with Dae, so that's important for us. But, yeah. It can burn other switch-ins like the Grimmsnarl. It can burn things like the Primeape, which could be very useful. Stuff like that. Then we have Power Whip. Power Whip is just for the Rotom, specifically. I wanted to have something that could really smack the Rotom hard. And this thing can tank any hit from the Rotom pretty easily without any real issues. So that's why I went with this form of Gourgeist. It still has a lot of its bulk. It still has the majority of its bulk. Just a little less HP, but that's not really that big of a deal. So that's our worries. Plus, I went with Frisk because Frisk is one of the best abilities, in my opinion, in Draft League. Because, like, on the ladder, it's not as good because a lot of the sets are very standard. You're going to see a lot of the same items. Choice items, Rocky Helmet, and Boots. Pretty much all through OU. That's like 99% of what everything runs. And leftovers. So it's not like you're finding out a lot of information, but I can find out like a type berry on something. I can find like a weird stuff like in a jetpack, a red card, stuff like that. I can see those things, and I know what I'm kind of dealing with, so I can deal with it appropriately. So that's cool. And then last but not least, we have Lumberjack, the Haxorus, Lumberry, Moldbreaker, Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and Poison Jab. Again, his team does not appreciate us with a Dragon Dance up. Anything with a Dragon Dance up just kind of wrecks house, and this thing specifically does a really good job of it. Dragon Claw pretty much murks everything that it's neutral to on this team. Earthquake, again with Moldbreaker against the Rotom, is just messing it up all day, every day. We can actually set up on the Rotom, especially if it's a little bit weaker, because of potential Will-O-Wisp. Doesn't matter because we have the Lumberry. If we set up on if we also set up on something and like whatchamacallit, if we set up on something and he goes hard into Rotom as we set up, we can set up another Dragon Dance in his face, and then it puts us in an amazing spot. We have Poison Jab to be able to break the Hatterene and the Grimmsnarl, and that's pretty much all we really needed, to be completely honest. Declaw, EQ, and Poison Jab pretty much wreck house on the whole team. You have enough speed for Primeape and below, because that's all we really needed. I didn't want to speed tie with Sigilyph if it's like a Scarf Sigilyph for some reason, even though I don't think that comes here, I think that would be a really silly bring on his part. Haxorus does a lot of work here, so I'm really looking forward to the matchup. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the battle. Alright, PTG people and everything, we are here and back once again for another week of fantastic Draft League action. And we are taking on the Boston Zubats. Let's get this party started. He does indeed bring the Primeape. I knew that much is for sure. Decidueye and Rotom makes the most sense. Spectrier, Grimmsnarl, yeah. He brought pretty much a lot of the things that I would have expected. Pretty much, like, no real debate there. Like, everything he brought pretty much seems exactly like what it should be. Let me throw this over here. Yeah, he didn't bring the Houndoom, which is very much expected. Very much expected that not to come. No Slowking, which is really good for us. I'm not going to lie, that makes things a little bit easier. No Alolan, no Surprise, no Simisear, Sigilyph. They're not Pokemon. Okay, cool. Alright, so, lead-wise, do I think that he leads with... What do I think he leads with here? Set up on this. I basically had to set up on Spectrier. Pretty much. Sucks. I think I'm going to lead with Primarina. Not too many things here super threaten it, and I can flip turn. He leads with the Rotom. I could Energy Ball right away, but I think he Volt Switches. I don't see him not Volt Switching. I don't see any reason for him not to Volt Switch. So I'm going to U-turn, or Flip Turn. Yeah, he Volt Switches. Let's kind of scout that out. Oh, apologies. I forgot that I'm recording live. Whoopsies. Let me go ahead and calc that real quick. Kind of see what he's rocking with. Volt Switch did 26. Okay, so he's not specially attack invested, so he's bulky, which is exactly what I expected. Brilliant! Exactly what I needed. So I go hard Gyarados, Mega Evolve, and I'm not going to Dragon Dance right away because I do 100% think the Primeape comes in hard here. I don't think he could do anything about that. So I'm actually going to Iron Head immediately. He Willows and misses. That's huge. That's huge. Huge, 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 huge. If he's Willowing, do I have a Willow switch in? We'll go Primarina again. As he goes back to Rotom. That's perfectly fine. That Willow miss sucks. That definitely sucks. I'm gonna Moonblast this time. He Volt Switches, gets 27. Yeah, that's still... Ooh, nice! Drop the Grimmsnarl immediately. That's humongous. Getting rid of that is big. It goes into the hat. I'm going to flip turn on the hat. 12%. Rocky Helmet. Yeah. I don't like it. Calm Mind. Ooh, nice. But I'm faster than you, and I'm going to smack you to hell with a Poltergeist. Big damage. Mystical Fires does not pick up the kill. Nice. So, can Jack kill Hatterene without having to click Poltergeist? Because I'd rather not have to click Poltergeist here if I don't have to. He's fully Fizz-Def, yeah. Yeah, he's fully Fizz-Def for that to be due 59. He is to be fully Fizz-Def. I can't kill him without clicking Poltergeist. That really sucks. But Poltergeist is pretty free unless it misses. No! Why do you hate me, game? Why do you hate me? God damn it. Okay. This isn't the end of the world because I can go no talk me hangy and murk this thing with an aura wheel. He doesn't really have a switch into this. Nope. I'll take the Rocky Helmet and Life Orb. Oh, it doesn't make contact? Oh, that's cool. How much does this do to Primate? Oh, you protect? Because I'm pretty sure he's scarfed. He U-turns. This should Oko him. Oh my god! Morpeko's a goat. Morpeko's legendary. This little man. Look at him go. Look at this monster go. Well, how much does this do to Bulky Rotom? How much does this do to Bulky Rotom? I don't think this does a lot to Bulky Rotom. I really don't think it does. It probably doesn't. If he's like the timid set with like 208 speed or whatever and like 48 defense, it does 55 to 65. I think he probably Willows me here. If I'm being honest. I kind of want to just Parting Shot. Kind of want a Parting Shot. Go into Zapdos. Or I can just keep clicking Aura Wheel. And not care. 48%. Alright, so he's like max bulk. He Hydro Pumps and kills me. That's fine. That's fine. Morpeko killed half of his team. Or a third of his team by itself. That's freaking fantastic. Okay, so yeah, that was, what, full Fizz Def? Is that full Fizz Def? 48%. Yeah, that fits into, like, max Fizz Def Bold. Do I have a Mon that can kill that? Does Haxorus kill that? With Earthquake? Yes, it does. And I can Dragon Hits in its face. That doesn't matter because I do have the Lumberry. So that's fine. So we can kill that. Cool. We should be faster than Spectrair. Yeah, we are faster than Spectrair. We just gotta get past this Decidueye. Which shouldn't be too big of a deal. We're +1 now. Dragon Claw, if he's offensive, has a chance to just kill. It has a 50%. It's literally a 50% chance to KO it. I'm just gonna Dragon Claw. We do get the kill. Again, that was a 50-50 roll, so I'm sorry for that. He's faster. He's Scarfed Spectrier. But that's fine because we go straight into Gyarados and Crunch. Because he can't do anything. Nice. Nice. GG's. It was a like he said, and I said as well in the team builder portion. Like, this was one of the worst matchups he possibly could have ended up with. Like, this matchup is terrible from start to finish. Like, there's nothing he could really do. It was just a matter of time before like something fell apart. And like Morpeko murked a third of his team. Gyarados alone could just murk most of the team. It was a pretty tough matchup to get past. So definitely like tough. And if Poltergeist hit on the Hatterene too, I wouldn't have even had to go into Morpeko. I would have still been able to keep the Shadow Sneak and Poltergeisting for Decidueye and Spectrier respectively. So it was a tough matchup, but he played well. He brought it down to a 3-0, so that's really good. So GG's to Nick and the Boston Zubats. Don't know who we play next week. Next week we play... We play the one of the other PKS guys that's here, and Scotty and the Slow Pokers. Just ignore the way that just ignored the name, and it's trust me, if you could see the logo, you would understand why I say ignore the name. It's something, man. It's something. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, I'm PokePrimer, signing off. Peace!